The Vietnam from 1965 to 1975 was a war that the United States was involved and the Soviet Union was involved. It all started with the French missionaries so committed to Vietnam. The Vietnam government got tired of the French missionaries, so they began executing missionary offenders in 1830. They turned to France for support, but France didn't really do anything about it until Louis Napoleon took power in 1830. Napoleon promised aid to the French missionaries in Vietnam. So in 1858, the conquest of Vietnam began. The French controlled the economy and the government. They even directed police and military services until 1920s. Nationalist and revolutionary groups continued to operate in Vietnam. However, the best organized of them was the Vietnamese Revolutionary Youth League, founded by Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh was leading Vietnamese revolutionary and president of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. Ho was also skilled at delegating balancing of politics with the Soviet Union and China, bitter ideological rivals that both provided materials and military assistance. He was also very real driving force. Eventually, the French were kicked out from the Vietnamese due to their defeat, bringing the Treaty of Geneva into place and called the elections for reunification in 1958. Back in the United States, the strong anti-communist South Vietnamese government of Ngo Dinh Diem refused to support the Geneva Accords and put off elections indefinitely. In 1959, armed conflict broke out again as communist guerrillas known as Viet Cong began launching attacks on targets including U.S. military installations. In South Vietnam, things got spicy. The Target's offensive was one of the largest campaigns of the Vietnam Wars launched by the North Vietnamese. Despite heavy casualties, North Vietnam achieved a strategic victory with the Teen offensives, as the attacks marked a turning point in Vietnam War and beginning of the slow, painful American withdrawal from the region. So points to take is that Ho Chi Minh was communist and he was on the northern side of Vietnam, and the United States were fighting against them to prevent the domino effect from spreading the communists to other regions nearby. And basically, the United States was involved directly by sending their troops to South Vietnam to fight northern Vietnam, and the Soviet Union was involved, but not directly. It was more indirectly because they were just supplying North Vietnam. So basically, it was a proxy war, but a long, long proxy war. So that's basically it. That's Northern Vietnam. Oh no, that's the Vietnam War. That's it, folks. Thank you.